do you do when you have those troublesome relations that could possibly damage your brand and, more importantly, your business? Hi, morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of London, and yes, behind me is one of those magnificent old red Route Master buses. If you recall, they were the sort of signature of London for so many years. Do you remember all those B films, the black and white films, where people used to jump on the back of them to escape the baddie or the police or the goodie or whichever? I loved them myself. When I first came to London, I thought that was the best thing, the open back buses, simply because if you missed it, you could run and try and jump on the back. Nowadays, of course, with health and safety, we're not allowed to do things like that, and they're all sealed up. Thankfully though, all these sort of buses were sold off, and this particular one here is outside Westminster Cathedral because it's now been turned into a very special wedding bus. Some of them, I don't know if you see any in your part of the world, have actually been turned into restaurants, movie theatres, all sorts of great ideas, but it's wonderful to still see them standing. But back as ever to your breaking royal story of the day. Now, a BBC presenter called Chris Packham, you may recall him on things like Spring Watch, Summer Watch, Autumn Watch, that sort of stuff. He's always lurking around in bushes telling us all about the wildlife. Very noble and actually very entertaining, the programmes are at least. What I find strange about it though is that as ever, these particular people always have a cause. Chris is one of these people that always seems to have a flag to wave about something, whether it be mental health or some decline of something or an extinction species, you name it, he can manage to jump on top of it. However, the problem that he has now is he could simply be making it very difficult for, well, a very good friend of his and, of course, an associate of the British royal family. But who? Now, as we all saw recently, the marvellous Kate Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, looked absolutely stunning as she appeared at the Bond premiere in that beautiful dress. Now, that dress was designed by none other than Jenny Packham. You get it? Chris Packham, Jenny Packham. Now, here's where the problem truly lays. Chris Packham really wants all of the land owned by the British royal family to be rewilded, as he's calling it, basically given back over to the wildlife and so that they can nurture and thrive again. Very noble cause, as you can imagine, and he's delivering a petition, yes, all the way to Buckingham Palace with quite a few signatures on it. Now, as I say, here's where the problem gets a little bit tricky for Chris. As you know, his sister Jenny, as I say, designs many of the favoured dresses by, of course, Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Cambridge. Now, for her, this could be a very tricky manoeuvre because if Chris decides to, well, basically pick on His Royal Highness Prince Charles, which apparently is going to be his first target, then how will that sit, given the fact that Kate is the one nurturing Prince Charles through this very difficult period of the loss of his late father, the Duke of Edinburgh? Now, will we see Kate, or Catherine as she's known, in that wonderful attire by Jenny Packham again, or will this be the final stitch in time, given the fact that this won't go down particularly well? Also, let's not forget, Prince Charles himself is incredibly green, talks endlessly about it if you go to dinner parties with him. So this doesn't really bode well, the fact that Chris wants to make an example of him. But he's not stopping there, he's also got his sights on Her Majesty the Queen and other senior members of the British Royals. Now, I'll keep you posted as to when and how, or possibly next, Jenny receives an order from the royal household. But for now, I would say it's a classic stitch in time. Neil Sean in the heart of London.